All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So we are 1 week post US Open, Michael. Interesting course setup, obviously, at LA Country Club. We were out there on the Wednesday in the practice day. Loved the place. Big talking point was obviously the rough, how thick the rough was out there in a non-traditional US Open way. And you know, club selection for a lot of the players that were out there. We're seeing players as a trend, Mikey, go towards these high lofted fairway woods. That used to be a 7-wood, has now become a 9-wood.
Totally.
We're seeing Tommy Fleetwood, we're seeing Dustin Johnson, players like that gravitating towards these high lofted woods that give them an advantage with the shallow profile to still get the ball out those tricky lies. We're going to do a little testing with that today.
Yeah, when I was at Oak Hill at the PGA, the rough was so thick as well that the Callaway guys were telling me they had to overnight like 15 or 20 extra 9-woods. Guys were coming in going, I can't get out of this rough. Give me some lofted woods. So it's definitely become a lot more popular.
Definitely. So we want to kind of get into a little bit the topic of who they're for. Obviously, we're talking about tour players here in this instance in the kind of rising popularity of these clubs, but I really don't want to focus on that in this topic because we want this to represent you guys. So what I want to focus on a little bit more of is around the LPGA average swing speeds. We see on the LPGA Tour from the TrackMan data that we see out there, the average 5-iron swing speed is around 79 miles an hour out there, the last recording. We're going to swing this, both clubs, a 5-iron, which is 24 degrees for me, and this 24-degree 9-wood at that same speed. And we want to show some of the advantages that we think a 9-wood might have for you guys in the set composition that fitters should really be thinking about to get the best out of people's game.
Definitely, let's do it.
All right, let's start off with some 5-irons, get some averages of launch angle, spin rate, very importantly, land angle. I think ball speed as well. We obviously had efficiency of a wood versus an iron we're going to kind of be looking at here. We're looking at a perfect lie. Might be cool to hit some off of some kind of slightly rougher lies in a little bit, but you know, let's just look at this lie to start with.
.9.
So not too bad on the speed. That's kind of about what we want.
Descent angle was okay, 37.8 low. But spin was back up, 5,300.
Yeah, spin wasn't too bad there. So, but descent angle was, what'd you say?
On 37.8.
Yeah, so average PGA Tour drive lands at 38. So we certainly don't want a 5-iron coming into a green at that. We're okay with it hitting a fairway at that angle. Okay, 82, not bad. But I think that's to the point though, Mikey. Spin is not what you need. You know, spin is going to stop it eventually, but the land angle is going to create the first bounce to scoot forward. The spin is not going to, until the ball's on the ground, you know, really kind of with a chance to bite, it's not going to make a difference. What's the launch angle on that? 14? 13?
That one is, 13.7. So.
Right.
.80 again.
I quite like playing golf at this speed, Mikey.
I do it every Saturday and Sunday. Welcome. Never seen you hit the club face so center in my life.
Just lovely, low.
No
short,
chance. No chance of stopping 5-irons.
Wee bit pulley, but
good speed though.
80.
You got the 80 bang on, no problem.
All right, what's our average looking like with the 5-iron?
Your average descent angle is 37.3.
Okay.
Your speed was bang on 80, really well done. That launch angle 13.7, and again, like we said, spin's low, but we're not really looking at spin. We're looking at that descent angle and launch.
Right. So obviously, you know, we're comparing loft. What we're not comparing is weight and length. Right. So for players out there who are looking, maybe their swing speed is declining a little bit more, that's where the loft of the 9-wood or the 7-wood is really going to come in and be advantageous for you. So you're going to be able to swing this quicker. You're going to be able to, you know, swing it nice and consistently because as your obviously swing speed drops, you're going to have a harder time maintaining speed with a heavier, you know, 120 gram shaft like this type of thing. So let's hit a few 9-woods, Michael.
Okay.
So there, I mean, straight away, 81 miles an hour, Mikey. What was the launch in that one?
Launch is 16.
So we've added, what, three?
Three more degrees right out of the gates.
Spin, more or less?
Yeah, 5,600. Our average was 5 earlier on.
Okay,
right
so
now, 56.
hair more?
Yeah, so more, and descent slowly rising.
What was that in descent?
42.
So 5 more.
Yeah.
Did we give us a carry and a total distance there? Are we
Yeah, carry is 163, totals 173.
okay? And then before, did we have what it was with the iron?
Before, we were 163, 180 total.
Wow.
Yeah.
So already 7 yards of kind of tighter.
Yeah, it's good. It's impressive.
That's exactly what you'd want to see.
Good speed.
80.
80, 5,100. Again, 164, 174. So that carry total's tight.
Right.
Descent's still hovering around 42. Tell you, it sounds great. Very easy.
Well, I mean, obviously swing dependent as well, right? So, you know, with this type of club, I've gotten shallower and my path has gotten a little bit more neutral. So I'm 0 out in the angle attack, 0.5 on the path. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of catching this at the bottom of the arc. So the club and the swing are very suited to one another right now, which is why that's flying so well. And that's the thing, guys, when, you know, if you're watching this and you know yourself to be a sweeper on the golf course, not much of a divot taker, you just kind of clip it off the fairway, you'll generally do really well with woods and not as well with irons. That's where the low centre of gravity and the deep further back centre of gravity really help with that launch angle. But there at 17.2 and 6,000 is great.
Yeah. A
83.
little quicker, 83, 63.
I mean, it is harder to hold back in the speed,
Totally.
obviously because it's longer, but
Tell you that peak height difference, you know, 58, 59, now we're hovering around 81 feet. Like that's big.
that's a big change. What
Yeah.
did you say the iron was?
Your iron was 59 feet
Yeah.
on average,
Right.
and this thing's 81 already.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's night and day different, I have to say that. It's, you know, struggling, and this isn't the type of iron that a player who's swinging at that speed should probably be looking at.
Right.
Anyway, we would think, but we are still swinging at LPGA average.
Totally.
79, 80, you know, even slightly quicker at times. So, you know, the benefits to you guys of using a 9 wood or a 7 wood, we've got that to test here as well. It's there for all to see if height is your issue.
Yeah, I mean, to see that peak height difference and that tightness of carry in total,
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer for people.
Definitely. Okay, I wouldn't mind just, like, we're not going to get numbers because of the lie, but let's kind of jump forward here.
Okay.
All right, so giving ourselves that little rough, juicy lie,
Yeah.
call it, you know, I'm going to use a bit more speed here because you're just not going to be able to flight out this
Yeah.
at that speed.
You're trying to chop this out almost.
Yeah, but I'm going to use a little bit more like what the speed I've got. But if I had 190 yards in, I'm not feeling very good at all
No.
about doing anything other than a kind of like a bit of a chunk and run.
Yeah, knuckly one just
Knuckly
to try
one.
to chase it up.
Yeah, so let's hit a couple with it, or let's hit one certainly with 5 iron, then we'll hit the 9 wood.
I mean, just the peak height right out of the gates. You actually have a chance with something like
Still
that.
there now. That's easily carried 190.
So much better.
Easily.
You need a 9 wood in your life.
I mean, if lies were like this, it was to get out this,
Yeah,
then like,
yeah.
yeah, definitely. And I think that's where, for me, the mix of hybrids, I do need to, when I get in courses that have lots of heavy rough, I do need to swap out 4 iron
Totally.
for 4 hybrid. I'm not a huge 9 wood guy because off of the fairway there, I was hitting some earlier on, spinning at 7,000.
Yeah.
It's just a bit much, but yeah, you're right. When it comes to these types of shots, I mean, the advantages are insane. I mean, look at that.
And even that, you've taken, you know, significant divot, and it's just coming right out easily.
But, I mean, night and day different. Even just by looking, Mikey, at the amount of grass,
Yeah.
right, that's on top. If we've got a tall iron face versus a shallow wood face, what's kind of, you know, going over the top of that in terms of the grass, the iron is producing just a shield
Totally.
against that. And that shield is what produces, obviously, less energy, less, contact, less friction, all the things that we want to gain control.
You can see your last strike is high in the
Up
face,
there, yeah.
and it doesn't go anywhere. It
Absolutely.
it went straight, but you're not getting much out of that.
No, exactly. So we obviously, guys, we're talking up the benefits of using these lofted woods. They're in the set makeups from these companies for a reason. And fitters, don't ever be afraid to load the right type of players up with more fairway woods. It's all about set composition and having the correct gapping for the player. That way, they're going to never be stuck on the golf course without an answer to the problem that the golf course presents to them. So knowing the course and the courses that you're going to play and setting your bag up accordingly is so important to shooting the best score you can.
Definitely. I don't think this is the last test with a 9-wood. I think
Agreed.
this is
Agreed.
a story you could tell for a lot of people. It was impressive for you as well.
Yeah, no, good to see it. And I love doing that slower swing speed test because just to see those two side by side, those two ball flights, it should be a bit of an eye-opener for the people who eternally struggle with the low flight
100%.
and trying to get that distance back. So there's always options, guys, and the manufacturers are making better clubs than ever before, so take advantage, get fit for them, and put the best 14 clubs in your bag for yourself. All right, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.